Hello and welcome to homework walkthrough video for lesson 4.02C independent practice. This lesson is on simple interest formula. To do this lesson, let's go and make sure we know what the simple interest formula is. Let's go back to subject and let's click on the important resources module. Important resources. Click on the grade 7 reference sheet. Click on it again so I can actually see it, right? Then scroll down. Okay, simple interest formula. Interest equals principal times rate times time. Phew. Okay, another nice tool for us to have is the State Assessment Online Calculator. State Assessment Online Calculator. Okay, so we have the calculator, we have the reference sheet. I think we're ready to start. Review attempt. Find the interest earned with a principal of simple interest of for 3 years. So I need to find the principal, the rate, and the time and multiply those 3 numbers together to get the interest. Looking for the interest. So I'm going to multiply these numbers together. 289 times the rate is 3.7%. Now, I can't type 3.7% into my calculator, but I can type the decimal version of 3.7%. So I'm going to do 0.037 and type that in my calculator. And then times that by how many years? 3 for 3 years. So let me do backspace. This is how much interest I would get from 1 year. But for 3 years, I would get 32.079. Ooh, copy. Paste. Let's check our work. Uh-oh. Maybe I need the... Okay, a couple of different things it could be. Maybe it needs the $sign. Maybe it needs to look like money, too. That could be another mistake. Check. Oh, try again. Let's maybe try now making it look like money. Money doesn't really look like this. Money ends in the hundredths place. So let's try rounding to the hundredths place. When we round to the hundredths place, we look at the thousandths place. Is 9 closer to 10 or 0? It's closer to 10, so we're going to round up 0.8. Okay, let's check our work now. That is confusing. Okay, so it looks like for the rest of these questions, lesson learned, right? Make my answer look like money. That is confusing. So I'm going to round to the hundredths place every time. Question 2. Leon borrowed this much money from the bank with an interest rate of that much. How much interest will he pay on a loan after 10 years? So it looks like this is my principal. This is my rate. And this is my time. Principal times rate times time equals my interest. So I need to multiply these 3 numbers together. 4,394. 4,394 times 3.8%. Ooh, but 3.8%, I can't type 3.8% in my calculator, darn it. But I can do, oops, that's not what I wanted. 4,394 times, I can type the decimal version of 3.8%, so 0.038. This is how much interest there would be after 1 year, $166. So let's find how much interest will there be after 10 years. 10 years, you would have, whoa, $1,669.72. 16669. I'm going to copy and paste that. Paste, don't forget the dollar sign. Looks like it ends in the hundredths place. Phew. Question 2, yeah. Weird that the correct answer is not what I put. But we got it correct, and I got my 1 out of 1 point, so I'm moving on. Stan receives $206 for his birthday slash. Weird. He invests it in a savings account at a simple interest rate of 2.7%. Find the amount of interest well, that one's riddled with typos, isn't it? Will earn after 6 years and calculate the total amount in Stan's account after 6 years. Interesting. So what is this question asking? It is asking for the interest and the final amount. So I think we're going to add the interest to the principal at the end to get the final amount. First, let's find the interest. That's simple interest. To find the simple interest, we do principal times rate times time. 206 is the principal, 2.7% is the rate, and 6 years is the time. So let's type in 206 times 2.7%. Now, I can't type 2.7% into my calculator, but I can type in the decimal version of 2.7%. 0.027. This gives me what 2.7% of 206 is. This is how much interest I would get, or Stan would get after 1 year. How many years did he have it in there for? Oh, he had it in there for 6 years. So I times that by 6. 33.372. Now remember, the question was asking for not just what's the interest. It asked for what's the interest and what's the total amount. So he has the $206 in his account, and he just got $33.37 in his account from the bank. So let's add these together. 3372. I'm going to copy that. Backspace. Uh-oh, okay, 33 point. Shoot, I forgot the number. Starting over, 206 times 0.027 times 6, 33372. 33372. 33372. Now I'm going to add that to the starting amount, 206. So after 6 years, he would have $293.37. Oh, but looks like, let's copy and paste this. Don't forget the dollar sign. Now I need to make this look like money, right? So I'm going to round to the nearest hundredths place, meaning I look at the thousandths place to round. Is 2 closer to 0 or closer to 10? Nice. It is closer to 0, so we round down, making the 2 disappear. Let's see if our answer is correct. Yay! Question 4. Sonia took out a loan for $4,272 for 9 years. She paid that much in interest on the loan. What was the interest rate? Expressed as a percent, rounded to the nearest 10th percent if necessary. Hint, solve for the interest rate in the formula. Whoa, backwards question. All right, so I think a strategy I'm going to use is I'm going to write the simple interest formula, and then I'm going to replace the letters that I know the numbers for with those numbers. and then solve the formula. So first, check and remember, what is it? I equals PRT. I, interest equals principal times rate times time. Let's look. What do I know? Well, I know the interest. 922.75 is the interest. So 922.75 is my interest. That equals, time is 9 years. That's easy. 9 years, so times by 9. And then took out a loan for 4,272. So it looks like that's the principal. Principal is how much money do you invest in the bank, or how much money do you borrow for a loan? 4272. 4272. And we're missing the rate. Okay, let's solve this formula. So there's a couple different paths we can take with this. I'm going to take one of these paths, and for the next problem, I'm going to solve it with the other path. So I'm going to multiply and simplify the right side of this equal sign first. I'm going to do 9 times 4,272. I can do that because of the associative or commutative property of multiplication, where I can rearrange numbers. 922.75 equals 4272. I can rearrange numbers without changing the meaning of the math sentence. So I'm going to multiply these two. Let's see, 4272 times 9. 4272 times 9 is 38448. Times R equals 922.75. Now I'm solving this one-step equation. I'm going to use inverse operations to solve this. What is the opposite? What is the inverse of times 38,448? Nice. It is divide 38,448. Doing this gets rid of 38,448 because 38,448 divided by 38,448 is 1, and 1 times r is just r. So these cancel out. And what I do to one side, I do to the other. 38,448. And now let's see. What is 922.75 divided by 38,448? 922.75. 922.75 divided by, what was the number? 38,448. 38,448. Making sure I type that in right. Yep, I did. I got, whoa. Here's my answer. Okay, I'm just going to copy and paste this in. I know the question told me to round, but I don't remember what I round to. So first, I need to turn this into a percent. So I'm going to move this decimal 2 times to the right, or timesing this number by 100. That would give me my decimal right there. Okay. Oh, looks like I have a leading 0, so I can get rid of that 0. Okay, so here's my percent, but it says round to the nearest tenth. It's right there. When I round to the nearest tenth, I look at the hundredth. Is 9 closer to 10 or closer to 0? It's closer to 10, so I'm going to round up, making this 2.4. Don't forget the percent sign. Percent. Yay! All right, question 5. Yolanda made that much money in interest from the money she deposited in her savings account. So this was the interest. She deposited it for 10 years. Oh, 10 years ago. With a simple interest rate of 2.3%. How much did Yolanda deposit into her savings account? So it looks like we are solving for the principal, and we need to round to the nearest whole dollar. So again, I'm going to write my formula. I equals principal times rate times time. Let's find the interest first. Let's replace the interest. She made, $203.09 in interest. 203.09 in interest. Now I'm going to find, it looks like we're missing the principal, so that stays missing, P. What is the rate? 2.3%. 2.3%. And what's the time? 10 years. Okay, 10 years. I'm going to turn first this percent into a normal number by moving the decimal point 2 times to the left, making the number look smaller. So that would give me 203.09 equals principal times 0.023 times 10. Now I'm going to simplify the right side of this equation. Left side stays the same for now. I'm going to do 10 times 0.023. That would give me 0.23. Now I'm going to use inverse operations to solve. What is the opposite? What is the inverse of times 0.23? It is divide 0.23. Now my calculator, I'm going to do 203.09. 203.09 divided by how much? 0.23. 0.23. 883. That is my principal. I could have also divided 203.09 by 10 and then divided that answer by 0.023. Either way would have worked. And if you did it correctly, I would have gotten 883 both ways. Don't forget the $sign. Remember, if you don't get a whole number answer, remember to round your answer to the nearest whole dollar. Yay! Last question. Anthony earned that much interest when he invests that much in his savings account with a simple interest rate of that. How long has Anthony's money been in the savings account? Looks like we are missing the amount of time. So let's write our formula. Interest equals principal times rate times time. And let's replace these letters with the numbers that we know. He earned that much interest. Okay, so 353.86 is the interest. 353.86 is the interest equals what's my principal when he invested? Okay, principal is 1,361 for me. What's the rate? 2.6%. Now I'm going to write that as a normal number. So 0.026 times time. All right, first I'm going to simplify and do 1361 times 0.026. 1361 times 0.026. 35.386. 35.386. 35.386. 35.386. 35.386. 35.386 times time equals 353. Now let's use inverse operations to solve this equation the rest of the way. What is the opposite? What is the inverse of times 35.386? Nice. It is divide 35.386. That 35.386 divided by 35.386 equals 1, and 1 times t is just t, so these cancel out. But what we do to one side, we do to the other. Well, I think I know what the answer is. What's 353.86 divided by 35.386? Let's see. I think I know. 353.86 divided by 35.386, the number 10. Oh, if you don't get a perfect number like I did, make sure to round your answer to the nearest whole year. Yay! All right, make sure before you click submit, make sure you click check for all of your answers and then scroll up and make sure you got all of the points that you deserved. Make sure it says 1 out of 1 if you got it correct. And then click finish, then click submit, and good luck. If you need more help with this homework that this video didn't provide, then make sure to send me a Canvas message. Good luck to you all. Goodbye.